now.
Hey, we're on now. Man, it was like a bang bang. It was a bang bang this morning. 2 buttons this morning. So welcome in. Thanks for
welcome in again.
Man, welcome in.
We'll try round 3.
We'll try round 3. Welcome in here on Good Morning Huntsville. Our platform had made some changes again. And, I guess every single show I'm going to have to start looking at these updates because there's a couple of little options now that they made some updates on. So we want to welcome you on. People can hear us now, and so
there we go.
Welcome in.
Yeah, there you go.
As we're joined live here, we are back.
We're back live in the studio.
We'll go take 3 this morning. So thanks for joining us, Huntsville. Welcome in. We appreciate you. It is Tuesday here in beautiful Huntsville, Texas. We are broadcasting live from our studio downtown. I'm Rob Hipp. Every Tuesday, as always, joined by our good friend Jason Thompson of Guardian Defense. Jason, we've already had 2 times to rehearse. How you doing this morning, man?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you this morning?
I'm doing great. It's cool to see you. I wanted to say the camera colors are coming through very bright.
Yeah.
So
it's the lighting. It's all this lighting.
It's the lighting in here that's sparking Jason this morning. But he is wearing Bearcat orange. It's coming off a little red. But here's the deal. Wearing it in honor of Sam Houston Bearcat baseball WAC champions.
That's it, man. They're going to the tournament. I can't, I didn't foresee this in their future this year, when the season first started. Way happy for their success.
First time since 2017 that they are back in the regional tournament. And it was an unbelievable series for Sam Houston. They were playing in Mesa, Arizona at Hohokam Stadium there. And they had to go through so much adversity. They lost a couple games, but they came back. They had to beat Utah Valley twice to get to this point to win the WAC champ. And not only did they beat them, that first game was a little testy. Second game, 22. I mean, these guys were putting up 22 runs and just unbelievable.
Unbelievable, action at the plate.
And then you talk about in that second game, the first game that they had to win, they had to beat Utah Valley twice. First game was a little bit close. Second game, they put up like 11 runs in the second inning alone. I said, man, how are these bats this hot?
I don't know. I think it was the heat. It's a little bit warm in Mesa, Arizona this time of year. I was out there a couple of weeks ago when I was off the show for a couple of weeks. And, man, when we first got there, it was great, man. Get up in the morning at 62 degrees, gets up to, upper 80s, low 90s. Before I left, it was like 102.
We were joking around.
And now it's even hotter. It's probably 105, 106 when those guys were out there playing.
Yeah, I mean, it's nuts how hot it gets there in Arizona. And we were joking around before we came on. And I thought about it. I said, how can we get a plane and fly out there? And we know a guy who has a plane. But then I started thinking, the regional is in Louisiana. You don't need a plane. You can just drive. It's got only a few hours away probably.
Where at in Louisiana is it?
So I need to look it up, man. I just know it's in Louisiana
we know
somewhere.
how far the
Shreveport,
drive is.
maybe?
Shreveport's not bad.
Maybe. I may be wrong on that, but
maybe Shreveport or Baton Rouge or something like that.
I think maybe Baton Rouge is where it is. So
yeah, the food's good over there, though.
It's good. It's a good drive down. But congratulations to the Sam Houston Bearcats baseball as they advance on to the regionals. That'll be a lot of fun. We got a fun show lined up today here on a Tuesday. Yesterday we were not able to be live due to it being a holiday. Walker County Federal Credit Union is our Monday sponsor, but we were able to put together kind of a best of show, and we had Tara Burnett of Hearts Veterans Museum, just kind of reiterating what they're doing there as we took one of the previous episodes and kind of put it together. It worked out really nice. And
I thought it looked good.
It's a good way to honor, just Memorial Day. What did you do for Memorial Day? You guys were open.
Yeah, we were open. We had some guys come out and shoot and some ladies. They had a good time and just worked on a few little projects trying to catch up from the gun show world and stuff like that. Had some work that needed to be done, so we worked on that. Had a good little meal.
You've got some classes coming up again this weekend, and you're almost sold out, by the way.
Yeah, almost sold out. I have like 4 seats left. So, guys, if you're interested, don't wait because once it's full, and I hate to turn people away.
Yeah. So, again, Guardian Defense, our Tuesday sponsor. Jason is going to help you with personal safety. We're going to talk about all that today. I know we've mentioned it before, but we'll dig in a little bit more today just about personal safety. And some of you, especially overnight, we don't know the full details yet, and we always want to highlight the positive things, but apparently that there was an attempted burglary or something here in Huntsville overnight, and there was a shooting involved.
That's the rumor we've been hearing, but we haven't been able to confirm anything yet.
Yeah.
To get any details. So, guys, that's what the world's coming to, unfortunately. So we need to be safer, and we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, and that's the things that you do, Jason.
Yeah,
so
that's what we do.
That.
And it's not, a lot of it is mental preparedness, guys. Okay, it is. It's a lot of it's right here in your head.
Just
and being ready. You have to be ready.
Since I've known you, I've became more alert of my surroundings now. Even when I'm driving. I mean, I'm looking around. When I'm parking, I'm looking around. I'm keeping an eye on just everything around me. And did I remember to lock my car? And then I start thinking of, not to think the worst of something, but I do think of scenarios like, hey, I'm parked in this spot. If something happened, is this a good spot to be parked in?
Right. Those are all little things that help, keep you and your family safe. Just having the mental awareness, situational awareness, what we talk about in class. That's one of the big key, points. Know what's going on around you guys. Don't be distracted. Get off that cell phone.
Get off the phone. And
Yeah,
pay
get
attention.
off the phone. And we hear it all the time. You see it on the billboards when you're driving down the highway and stuff like that. Get off your phone. But get off your phone when you're parking, when you're out in public. Pay attention to what's going on around you.
Have you seen anybody walking on their phone and run into a pole? I've seen the videos.
Oh, yeah. I see those online. I've seen it in person. And most of us out here, especially in Huntsville, I know right now Huntsville's kind of back to normal. College is out. But when the college is in, this younger generation, they tend to spend a lot of time on their phone.
They do. So, we'll talk about those things today. We're also going to continue to highlight the good happening in our community. Some events happened over the weekend there to honor Memorial Day, and then more things happening throughout the week. And we've also got some updates for you, too. We finally started getting the website updated with what's coming soon to Huntsville, and so we'll highlight some of that. And then Jason's got a little hobby that he does on the side that I wanted to bring up today that I think will be pretty neat. So
we'll talk about some bees.
Yeah, so we'll talk about some bees coming up, and Jason's got something that he'll share with us about that as well. So a great show lined up, jam-packed today. We do, by the way, are giving away some more prizes all week long. Our good friends at Vintage Market Days has been gracious to bless us with 4 tickets a day. And we will be giving those away today as well. So 4 tickets for Vintage Market Days coming up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the fairgrounds here in Walker County. All you got to do, just like Lisa, she's already entered to win. And by the way, yesterday's winner was Miss Vicki McKenzie. And so, Vicki,
awesome.
we will get you those tickets. Especially, I think we may see her today on Tuesday. So we'll get you those tickets, Vicki. But you were our winner yesterday, so we'll bring you those 4 tickets. And then already entering in the contest today, Lisa Branch has entered in already. She did it right. She said, "Good morning, Huntsville." All you got to do is comment with the hashtag there, visit Huntsville TX, Good Morning Huntsville, like this broadcast, and then share it. And if you do those 3 things, you will automatically be entered to win. Again, 4 tickets today as well. We'll be giving those away all week long for a very awesome event that's coming up here on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
It looks some of the previews I saw online, they look pretty good.
And Bridget and I are planning on getting out there at least one of those days. Tammy entering the contest now, Lisa, so you got some competition today as she put in a hashtag Hello Huntsville, Texas. So, again, just keep those comments coming. And also, as always, let us know what you're thankful for today. With so much going on in our world and so many things that we interact with every day, there is so much that we can be thankful for, especially right here in our own backyard. And I always want to give a little inspiration today, and I wanted to get started. I was thinking about something yesterday, and I'm kind of glancing over because I have it on the screen here. But so many of us feel defeated, Jason. You wake up and you feel like, man, things didn't go my way, or I didn't get that job that I was hoping for, or I've been trying so hard to do this, and somebody else did it before me. I want you to remember this morning that you're destined for greatness. And I mean this. You're not a product of chance. None of us were born by chance.
No, none of us. We all have a purpose.
Everyone has a purpose, and you're here, and just to be here is already something to be thankful for. You're fashioned by the hands of God. He has placed within you abilities, gifts, and talents that are unique to you. Nobody else. There may be similarities.
Right.
There may be, for me in broadcasting, there's a lot of guys out there that broadcast, but there's unique talents about you within what you do. Your potential, friends, is immense. Your destiny is great. God has great things in store for you. I want you to remember this morning that you're God's workmanship, destined for greatness. And here's the key, too, that I wanted to highlight. You're destined for greatness by divine design. Embrace the gifts and potential within you and know that your Creator has great things in store for you. So no matter where you're at today.
Said. Very well said, yeah.
How many of us wake up that way? I do. I'm not going to sit here as a positive guy all the time and say that I don't have negative days, because I do, or negative thoughts.
We all have negative days. I have them. You have them. There's days where, things just don't go as we plan. And I think it's just there to show us that we're not in charge.
That's right.
There's a greater power that controls stuff, and we may not understand why it goes that way that day, but you just have to take it in and say, okay, well, tomorrow's a new day.
It is. And, there's always that reset clock. And I've always thought I kind of reevaluated because New Year's is kind of that new time to reset, the New Year's resolutions. I want to encourage you this morning, have a new day resolution. Why wait 365 years?
Yeah, 365 days.
What did I say, 365 years?
Yeah.
Well, some of you, so it feels like to me sometimes I'll wait 365 years.
I feel that.
Why wait 365 days? That's kind of, my message this morning is just have a new day resolution every day when you wake up. Every day. Have that new mindset of, you said, well, you know what? Like you said, Jason, yesterday's gone. Today's a new day. Let's have a new day resolution.
You can't change what happened yesterday.
That's right.
You can't go back. Don't live in the past. Look at, so you had a bad day. Put your boots back on and let's go get it. Try again.
I like that. Put your boots back on. Keep on trucking. Well, let us know again this morning what you're thankful for. We are honored and blessed to be here on a Tuesday with Guardian Defense and Jason Thompson. We'll talk more about his business, self-awareness, and more things coming up here shortly. Also, send those comments. Enter to win those 4 Vintage Market Days tickets that are coming up.
Come on, enter them. That looks like a fun event, guys.
It's going to be over 100 vendors will be out there at the fairgrounds. For now, though, we'll step aside. We'll take a break and reset. We've got a lot more as we're just getting started here on a Tuesday. This is Good Morning Huntsville, brought to you by Guardian Defense. We'll be back after this. Hey, good morning, Huntsville. Welcome back in on a Tuesday edition of Good Morning Huntsville, episode number 36. I don't even know how we got to 36 already.
I don't either. Are we actually at 36 or are we at 37?
37. Jason just gave me a wink because there was 2 number 21. So really episode 37. We'll officially mark it down as 36. But welcome in. Thanks for joining us on a Tuesday. Hope all of you got some rest over the weekend. Memorial Day is such an important holiday because – and I don't want it to get lost in context. And I know in this area it doesn't. I feel like some areas maybe it does. But, on Memorial Day is all about honoring those that have served before us and have given their lives in a selfless sacrifice.
Right. That's what it's for. It's not to thank veterans. It's to honor those that have given the ultimate sacrifice, in service of our country. That's what it's there for.
And I think about folks like my grandfather. He didn't pass away in World War II, but he was there second wave in Normandy. And I forget how many's in a company. It's quite a bit. I mean, I want to think, and if someone out there knows, I think it's over 100 or so that are in a company.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
My grandpa was there at Normandy second wave. And we're talking second wave, not first wave. First wave just got completely obliterated.
Right.
Second wave on D-Day, in his company, only 8 of them came back, and he was one of the 8.
Really?
And when you think about that first wave and how tough it was for them, and then the second wave for only 8 out of 100 to come back.
Right. That's not very good odds for survival.
And I think about my grandfather, and he passed in 2000, but he always told me stories about, there was a story that he talked about where, they had ditches that they had dug, and it was basically, him by himself, and they had to trick the opposing forces because they wanted to make it look like that there was multiple people down in there. And so what they were doing is he was running back and forth throwing grenades to make it look like there was a whole wall of people down in that ditch. Well, there wasn't. It was only him and a couple of other guys, but they were running back and forth. So it's just those stories that, you think about, Jason, and it's like I can't even imagine.
No. You can't imagine what those service members did. in those days.
And I think what even
And still do it today.
what's even even more, it's hard to grasp this because you're going up against somebody and two forces that are battling each other. Well, they ended up capturing a POW, and my grandpa befriended this person. I mean, it was someone from the opposing side, and ended up befriending this person. And this particular person had given my grandfather some insight on how to make fiddles by hand.
Really?
And so for years, whenever my grandpa came back, he knew how to make fiddles, and he handmade a ton of fiddles.
Oh, that's amazing.
He'd go take an old tree stump and start carving it out, and he knew how to he learned how to, wet the wood and bend the wood.
Right.
Pretty much made everything on that fiddle, even the bridge with the strings were at. He would make those, chisel those things out by hand. The only thing that he didn't make by hand was the bow.
Really?
Other than that, everything.
The bow and the strings, probably.
Yeah, the string. And he would use horsehair for the strings, which, was kind of neat. So
right.
I remember watching him as a
that's
kid.
Amazing.
So you just never know, your connections in life, even if it's, in his case, someone that's an enemy that ends up teaching him something so valuable that he enjoyed the rest of his life.
Yeah, that is cool, man.
So
that really is.
Well, we do honor those that have fallen. We appreciate everybody that has came before us, and we wanted to make sure that we highlight that here again this morning. But we are here live from our studio downtown, sponsored by Elliott's Jewelers. Got a lot of updates happening on the website, too, at hellohuntsvilletx.com. There's a lot of new things that are coming soon, so we'll highlight those on the back end of the show.
Cool.
It's always fun to post those because you never know. Some people are going to be happy. Some people are going to be like, I don't know why we're getting that in town, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. Deneen there had said 200 soldiers in a company, so I was way off.
Yeah, 200 and only 8 survived.
I mean, that's what, half of 0.5% odd or whatever coming back, which is just crazy to think about. But Jason, I wanted to highlight this morning, Jason with Guardian Defense. Always good to have you here, partner. You can visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. LTC classes, firearm safety classes. You do so much. Even Open yesterday had some folks come out and shoot.
Had some folks come out and shoot. They had a great time. Husband and wife, they were out there. They had a really good time.
Well, Jason, this morning, and we've highlighted it before, but I wanted to go over just a couple of talking points. And I think I'd mentioned on this show before, when I first met you, you came in and gave a great 30-minute presentation. It's not going to be, that type of presentation here this morning.
No, not this morning.
But I just learned so much from you, and I think it's important that we start this morning talking about some of those things. And there's some rules. I see so many videos on the internet, and I get annoyed with some of these guys because they're just doing it to try to tick the cops off. They're going up. And,
the audit, the guys that try to audit the police and stuff like that.
And they just do it for views on YouTube and together their channels.
They're just trying to get a check.
They're trying to stir up things. And then there are rules and laws, though, out there. What are some of the Texas rules right now for carrying? I know that some laws have changed. I wanted to talk
recently
about those
they
this morning.
changed. Texas gave the option to basically carry without going to class and obtaining a license to carry. That's an option now in Texas. I personally, and it's not because I'm an instructor, I like the idea of people getting a license, so at least we know they can hit water if they fell out of the boat.
And how does it work? If you're looking to go out and you say, hey, I want to purchase a firearm, what are some of the rules for purchasing? I know, like, for instance, for me, when I did dove shooting, I went out and got a shotgun years ago, and so I had to sign up my name and all that, but I didn't have to take a class or anything. Or
no. To purchase a gun, you don't have to. You just have to go in and go through a federal background check. So some of the new things on the federal side is if you're under 21 years of age, it's an automatic 10-day wait period to purchase a firearm. And they can only legally purchase long guns, but it's automatic 10-day wait. So, that's new, and some of the younger kids and folks that are under the age of 21, they're not real impressed with that idea, and it happens a lot.
There's some rules too. For me, I never took I guess, the hunting class and all that. And I think some rules have changed now. I know that there was...
No, you still need to take...
You still have to take the class, but...
You need to take your hunter safety course, depending on the year you were born. I think
That's what I was getting at. It's like in the 80s or something.
No, 1971.
71 is that? Okay.
I think so. I think it's 71. If you're born after... and I don't remember what month. I know my wife doesn't have to take it.
And I think that there is, though, and what I was getting at, you can take a lot of that online now.
Oh, yeah, the hunter safety education, that's available, I think, online for free through Texas Parks and Wildlife. But that's a good little course because they want you to kind of have some sense of what you're doing when you go out in the woods because it's easy to get lost. a lot of the trees look the same
Yeah.
in our area. And if you ever want to hunt out of state, you have to have the hunter safety card.
So those are all things to be aware of, especially if you've got youngsters that are wanting to get involved and to really make sure that they abide by the rules and all that.
The 4-H is a great option for, your younger kids if you want them to start learning guns. The 4-H, they have a rifle club where they shoot BB guns, pellet rifles, 22 rifles, and they meet once a week. They go to shooting competitions, and the little rifle group that they have has been doing some pretty good stuff. I follow them on Facebook.
That's awesome. See, I didn't know the 4-H. I knew some of the things they did, but I had no idea that
they have a shotgun club where they go out and shoot trap and shoot skeet, and I had a conversation with a friend of ours the other day about it. He said, "Yeah, some of my friends' kids were in the shotgun club," and he said, "We didn't like to go skeet shooting when they were there because they just cleaned our clock." These guys are like 13 years old and they're smoking. Guys in their 30s and 40s been shooting for years, and these kids have been out in practice and went to competitions, and they said, "Yeah, it just wasn't fun. We lost a lot of money to them."
What are some of the rules about, if you see someone around town? Because there's been people get nervous, and I understand it because the world that we live in, right? You never know who's going to be around that corner.
Right.
But what are some of the rules, if you see somebody, for instance, walking around a town square that has a semi-automatic rifle like an AR-15, or they are allowed to carry that, right?
You can actually carry a long gun in the state of Texas legally. Now, it's going to raise some concern, and it should. If you see somebody walking around with a AR-style rifle in the middle of town, that should cause some concern. The police are probably going to want to come talk to you about that. But essentially, my understanding, and I'm not a legal expert, is it is legal to carry long guns, out in public. But we don't see it that often. When I was growing up and I was, going through school, it was nothing to have a rifle or a shotgun in a gun rack in the back glass of your pickup truck.
Yeah, we had it. I mean, at our high school, I knew 5 or 6 guys that had them in their trucks.
Right, and then, as it went on through my high school career, they didn't let you do that anymore.
And is that a state law now? Like you're not allowed?
Yeah, you can't. You're not supposed to carry guns on the premises of a school. You're not even supposed to be within 1,000 feet of a school, even on a public roadway with a gun.
So I mean,
unless you have a license to carry, and then you can.
What about like in your vehicle? Whenever you're thinking about your vehicle, as our good friend Rick Boning is driving by, waving at us this morning from Tomorrow's Promise, he brought up some good questions. If you're in your truck,
even in your vehicle on a public roadway, that's one of those federal laws that they could choose to enforce if they wanted to.
And that's why a lot of times, of course, people will have them concealed in their glove boxes and those kind of things. Now, obviously, you can't put a shotgun in the glove box.
No, you can't do that. But essentially, guys, guns are tools. Okay, yeah. By themselves, they're not going to hurt anyone. But it's the person that owns the gun and uses the gun that can create the havoc that we see.
From you, Jason, as just an expert and an instructor, I would think, not to bully anybody, but it's almost like I think you're asking for attention. If I saw a guy walking down the street with an assault rifle, I would call the police and say, "Hey, there's a guy walking around." Is that wrong of me to do that?
No, I don't think so.
Or do you think that's part of a good thing of being aware of your surroundings?
I think that's good that you're aware of your surroundings, and it's not your job to go up and talk to the person, ask them why. That's what the police are there for. Guys, you remember that sad shooting they had down in Cleveland, Liberty, or what, a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago?
Yeah.
I heard some stories about it. I don't know if it's
This
true.
was the guy that the neighbors had went over and told him, like, "Hey,
you know why the neighbors went, though?
No.
The dispatcher said, "Hey, it takes us too long to get there. Why don't you guys go down there?"
Are you serious?
That's what I heard. I don't know that to be true, but I hope that isn't the case, to be honest, but who knows? I wasn't there. But that's just a story. But you know how rumors go.
Yeah, because I wouldn't want to, upset anybody for them just, practicing their constitutional right. But I also think that it's kind of weird.
Well, what time of day it was, too. 10, 11 o'clock at night, can you really see?
Yeah.
What you're shooting at?
Whenever you talk about just being aware of your surroundings, especially the days and the times that we live in, and you and I have mentioned it before.
Right.
I talked a little bit earlier about, when I'm parking now, especially, I've got my daughter and now I've got another kid on the way and Bridget, and I want to make sure that they're safe and protected. Even when I go to a shopping center, I want to park under a light. I don't want to park out kind of in an obsolete area. I want to park around other people.
Yeah, you want to be in a well-lit area. You don't want to park in the dark corner. I mean, who cares if you get a couple of door dings in your vehicle? It's going to happen eventually. Park in a well-lit area. Try not to go out by yourself. Go in groups. There's strength in numbers, guys. History has proven that time and time again. Don't be distracted. I can't emphasize this enough. We see it every day. People, playing on their phone. They're not paying attention, and what are the bad guys looking for? Easy targets that are unarmed. That's their main thing. People that aren't paying attention. And when you're walking by, look people in the face. If you get a bad feeling about it, point out something distinguishing. Hey, that's a nice watch. Hey, I like your tattoo, and keep right on walking. Because guess what? You're not going to be their victim anymore because you can ID them.
Yeah, okay? That's a good thought process. I've never thought about that before.
I mean, in a lot of it, guys, that I teach and I talk about and go over in classes, is the strongest, the best tool we have is the 6 inches between our ears. Our brain. We have to be smarter and outthink them.
Yeah.
It's great to carry a gun if you feel that would help you and have that tool. That's always an option because we live in a great state that allows you to do that.
We were at a retail store here about a week ago, Bridget and I, and had Braylon, and it was a little bit later, 9 o'clock, and normally we're in bed, 8. Braylon's already had her bath at 8 o'clock, and we try to get her in bed by 8:30 or 9, and we were just up a little bit late this evening, had some errands to run. It had been a long day, and we were at a retail store, and this guy just walks up behind me out of nowhere, and it's like, "May God be with you. The end days are coming." And I was like, "What?" And I mean, but you think about that. You never know. I'm not this guy's doing his thing, whatever.
Right. Probably not the best time of day or best approach.
No, and it just kind of and then we walked out into the parking lot, and I saw his vehicle. And again, nice guy. I'm not hating on the guy. He's just that's his thing. But it did raise some awareness with me because then not only then we're out loading up the car. He came up to me again, snuck around me behind the car, not intentionally, and it made me jump. Mm-hmm. And I looked, and it was the same guy, and he was like, "The end days are coming. May God be with," and handed me. And I was like, "Hey, bro, you just talked to me." He's like, "Oh, sorry." And then he walked up. But still, I'm sitting there thinking,
yeah, I mean,
that makes me nervous, man. At 9 o'clock at night in a parking lot, some
even
random
at 3
dude.
o'clock in the afternoon, and they want to hand you something. You don't know what's on there, and it's sad because there's people. I remember when we could, when you could do fundraisers. Walk around and put flyers on cars. You're having a car wash for this group or that group. You'd hit parking lots and put flyers on cars. But anymore, the dangerous portion is you don't know what's on that piece of paper. Could it be laced with something? People, have great minds, but they use it in bad ways.
When you bring up the word firearms, I mean, immediately some people kind of tense up and lock up.
Yeah, they do.
And what, from you've been around, you've experienced all different situations, and you've seen things. What do you think really ignites a lot of nervousness with people around firearms, Jason?
Just they don't know about them. That's it. They haven't been educated or went to class or training and learn about them. The gun itself is just an inanimate tool. It's just like a cordless drill or a hammer or a crowbar. It takes a human being, so to speak, to operate it. And as long as you do it in a safe manner, the gun itself is not a dangerous tool.
I've heard stories about, some states now trying to pass laws where semi-automatics, like an AR-15, for example, is being banned, and I forget what state that was.
And ARs, they get a bad rap. Everybody thinks it stands for automatic rifle or assault rifle. AR doesn't stand for that. It stands for Armalite Rifle Model 15. That was developed back in the 60s.
So someone else threw the other acronym in there to
they just use that acronym to fit their agenda. That's
Gotcha.
it.
There was a player for the Utah Jazz. I thought it was 47 was his number, and his name was Andrei Karolinko.
Oh, good Lord. Here
So
we
you
got
already
AK-47.
That was his nickname, you know.
Right.
And I'm sure nowadays that wouldn't fly, but that was
No,
his
it
nickname.
wouldn't, yeah.
It was AK-47 in the NBA back in the day, man.
Yeah, it wouldn't fly today. No, I think guns get a bad rap from time to time, but they have a place. The semi-automatic rifles, they have a place. Guys, we have a huge feral hog problem in the state of Texas. My buddy was out flying his drone around our property last night, and lo and behold, what do we find? Fresh hog roots. And I don't know if any of you guys out there have ever been pig hunting, but the quicker you can put bullets down range into the pigs, the better chance you have of rehabbing them, because they have a lot of babies.
Yeah, and that's something else too. When it's easy for someone on the outside to say like, "Oh, why are we doing this? And why are we hurting these pigs?" These pigs are decimating land.
They cause billions and billions of dollars of property damage. What pigs can do, and they're not just in the in the unincorporated areas. They're going into cities, especially when certain times of year they will tear up people's front yards and cause thousands and thousands of dollars to damage to people's yards and landscapes in the city, and that can become a problem too.
My Bridget's uncle tragically had passed away from an accident with a pig, and and I'm talking a big hog. He was on his way to work, just driving, and
right.
you think about like you hit a dog or a cat, that's going to do some damage. You hit a deer, it's really going to do some damage. You hit a pig, and that could be a life or death situation. And
we went airborne. We hit one time on out by the Estelle prison unit, on that back road going up to FM 230 out of Trinity. We hit one. Well, we hit three, but the last one we hit, the truck actually went airborne.
And see, that's what.
And the pig got up and ran away. These things are tough.
Yeah, Bridget's uncle unfortunately didn't survive. He had one that came up and he hit it and it knocked him off the road and hit a tree. And it's
right.
just you think about. And again, being aware of your surroundings, but there's some situations where it's tough to be aware, and
it is.
You something will run out in front of you, and that's why it's important that we always keep a lookout, and we also try to do what's right and take care of things that don't need to be around.
There you go. I mean, pigs, they have 2.3 litters per year, and I think Texas Parks and Wildlife's got some information on their website. I think they average about eight surviving piglets out of each litter, so you think about that.
And how many litters a year?
2.3.
So that's 16 to 20 that these things are
that
putting
each
out.
one of those sows can have.
And then it just spreads like wildfire.
And they can start their breeding age is about 6 months.
Is it a problem around this area here in East Texas?
Oh, you bet.
Because I know back in Central Texas, man, it's like every road you drive on late at night, you'd see pigs somewhere.
Oh, look! I mean, down at the diagnostic unit, that hayfield's been tore up all along the road. When they keep the grass mowed, and now I think it's so rough in some of those areas they probably can't even run the tractor over it to keep it mowed.
Wow!
But they go in there and they root. They're looking for roots.
Well, some insightful information this morning with our good friend Jason Thompson of Guardian Defense. You can check him out online at guardiandefensellc.com. We want to hear from you this morning. Let us know what you're thankful for and how you're waking up here on a Tuesday as we bring you this show every day. For now, though, we'll step aside. We'll take a break. We've got more with Jason when we come back on the other side. Stay with us. It's your show. Good Morning Huntsville. We'll be right back after this. Back, hey friends, back at it here. Welcome in on a Tuesday of Good Morning Huntsville. The show on Tuesdays is brought to you by Guardian Defense. Check them out online at guardiandefensellc.com. We appreciate Jason Thompson A lot of folks joining us, by the way, here on our social media channels. Barb D, good morning to you, Barb. She is there with Huntsville with the Vintage Market Days coming up. Kay Boning joining us, Melissa Barham, Rick Boning, who drove by a while ago.
Waving at us
outside of his truck, joining us. Also more friends coming across other platforms as Deneen Thompson, Stephanie Pitts over at Advantage Specialties chiming in. Tammy also, Lisa Branch, many of you, Russ Rutledge, good to hear from you, Russ. And you know who we didn't hear from today, which I was kind of surprised?
Jerica.
Yeah, you remembered it.
I remembered it, man.
Jerica, where are you at, Jerica? You've got to be out there this morning, man.
She's got to be out there this morning. I didn't see her yesterday on there either.
Yeah, so maybe
she's taking a break.
She may be taking a week
Maybe
off.
she's on family vacation. It's that time of year when everybody goes on vacation.
That's right, Jerica.
School's out. Let's go get the vacation out of the way.
She's usually chiming in. Hey, I do want to remind you this morning that you can enter to win those 4 tickets to Vintage Market Days. We're giving away 4 tickets every single day this week, a total of 20 tickets, and it'll be a lot of fun coming up on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Barb Gonzalez blessing us with those tickets, and so make sure that you like this broadcast, that you share it, then you just comment in there with a hashtag, just like Stephanie has done. And friends, look, here's the deal. I don't have a limitation on who can win. I know sometimes, this isn't a radio show. I've heard people refer to it as a radio show. It's totally unique.
No, it's not a radio show.
We're just a video podcast, but it's more than that. I had a guy the other day say, yeah, I love watching your show every morning. In fact, my neighbor, he goes, is there anything else that you guys do? I said, yeah, we have a website. And a lot of folks I don't think realize that we do have the website online too at hellohuntsvilletx.com. where we're keeping you updated. Some days that website now getting 300 to 400 hits a day, which is awesome.
Really, that's good.
So starting to grow there because we're keeping you updated with what's going on throughout the community. This show is just a catalyst to bring good things here to Huntsville, to highlight the good things that are happening here in Huntsville. But again, much more than just this show. And, someone was saying, yeah, listen to the radio show. I said, hey, it's not really radio. We do it on YouTube and Facebook. What's really cool about this, though, too, is if you can't watch us live, you can always go back now and listen on the podcast format as well. So
yeah, that's a great addition to this great show.
So a lot of things going on. Again, enter to win, and we will be giving away those tickets at the end of the show. Vicki McKenzie won yesterday. We got 4 more that we're giving away today.
Yeah, I can't wait to see who's going to win them today.
Jason.
So get in there and get entered, guys.
Yeah, get in there, get entered. And if Jason tells you to do it, you better do it.
Yeah, that's it.
So, Jason, some cool things going on at Guardian Defense.
Yeah.
You always have the classes going on, the LTC.
Right, but we've got something new, man.
You got something new. Tell us about this.
So a friend of mine who's a licensed to carry instructor as well reached out, and he said, hey, what do you think about offering some Spanish LTC classes for those that don't speak English too well and Spanish is their primary language? And I said, yeah, I'm game for it. So we set some stuff up June the 24th. We're going to have the LTC, the license to carry course in Spanish for those that may prefer to attend it and being spoke in their native language.
Is it going to work? Are you going to be doing the class and then have someone kind of
No,
translate
he's
it?
The team that's coming. They are straight licensed to carry instructors. They're just going to do the presentation in Spanish. So, and we're super excited to be able to offer that in this area. I haven't heard of any classes being offered in Spanish in the area. So, guys, if you know someone that may be interested, have them reach out and talk to us. We going to have some online advertising going this week with phone numbers where they can actually talk to the instructors in Spanish, to get the information about the class.
Man, that is great, Jason.
That is cool. We're really looking forward to doing that.
Yeah, I think that's neat because there's a community out there that needs to be reached, and
Right.
and a lot of folks that is their primary language, and so being able to reach them and bring gun safety and teach them necessities, I think that's
Right.
awesome, man.
Yeah, so they can do what? They can protect their family more effectively.
So that is good stuff. You can find out more. I just put the website up on the screen, and for those of you going back and listening on the audio-only podcast,
Hey man, throw the phone number up there too.
Yeah.
That's another great way to get in contact with us.
what is that number, Jason?
936
Let me type it up here. 936
293
293
0364.
0364.
And that's straight to my cell phone, guys.
So there you go.
If I'm on the line, leave me a message.
Just don't be texting Jason at like 2 in the morning.
Hey, I get Facebook Messenger at 2 in the morning sometimes.
Are you up at 2 in the morning?
No, sir, but I do respond to it when I get up about 4:30.
What's your routine? What time are you normally in bed by?
I try to go to bed between 8 and 9, but I'm usually up around 4 a.m.
Okay. What's your morning routine? Cup of coffee right away?
Well, coffee eventually. Get up, kind of wake up a little bit, go push the button, pet the dog. I have a little Chihuahua who elected me to be her human.
Yeah.
So she requires a lot of attention. Jump through the shower, get cleaned up. It just kind of depends. Sometimes I shower in the evening. If I've been working outside, I get all nasty. Sometimes I shower in the morning. It just depends.
Yeah. A lot of times I'm a morning shower, unless, like you said, then I'll take one, at night before I go to sleep.
Right.
And Jason, I already knew you were a great guy, but what you just said just solidified it 100,000%.
What's that?
Because you said I get up and I pet the dog. Mm-hmm. That's a good man right there when you get up and pet the dog.
Oh,
man.
yeah. The dogs are spoiled, man. We have this time we call bed pets. And I have usually 3 dogs that when I get up in the morning, they expect to stand at the side of the bed and all of them get petted at the same time. Only have 2 hands.
Yeah.
So that's a great way to wake up.
I put in our house, we have our bed, and then we have the 2 dog beds. And I think Bridget thinks it's funny because I put those dog beds on my side of the bed. And so they both sleep on the floor in their dog beds next to me. And every great once in a while, Bridget does such a good job, cleaning up around the house and clothes and laundry and all that. She's phenomenal. I love her to pieces. But if it's been a few, maybe 3 or 4 days and the bed hasn't been washed, then I'll feel like it's okay to let the dog jump up there with me for a second because I know that the bed's going to be washed that afternoon.
Right.
And so every once in a while, and our Golden knows that, and he can kind of sense it. And it's funny because his back leg will start trying to crawl up there, and I was like, come on, buddy. And then he just sneaks his way up there next to me.
Yeah, we have American Bully. Her favorite thing to do is sleep on some clothes that I've already worn on my side of the bed. That can be interesting when you first wake up in the morning.
Hey, so tell me this. I'm glad that you mentioned something about an American Bully because I was watching People's Court yesterday, all right?
Okay.
Do you ever get a kick out of those? Do you ever watch any of that? I don't watch hardly any TV.
I hardly watch TV.
You know what I'm talking about, like Judge Judy and the...
Right, yeah, the People's Court.
Yeah,
I remember watching that as a kid, when you stayed home from school, you played sick. And they'd have the People's Court with Doug Llewellyn. You remember that,
I don't remember that. I remember. Well, the only one I know is the lady that's on there.
Judge Judy? Yeah.
But it was funny because this was an episode yesterday, and there was a guy. It's not funny what happened. The landscapers had left their backyard, gate open, and the morning they let their dog out, and it was an American Bully. Well, he took off after some other dog and broke the dog's leg.
Really?
And so, they said, hey, this is terrible that this happened. So they paid for the initial surgeries and all that. Well, the lady felt like that they were just trying to continue to milk her for money and that they were taking it to this luxury vet instead of just a regular old vet.
Really?
And so that was what the case was about. But I'd never heard of an American Bully. And what's the difference between an American Bully and a bulldog? Are they a little bit smaller?
Well, the American Bullies are, they're kind of low to the ground. They're wide. They're a thick, very thick dog. And what it is a cross between an American Bulldog and a Pit Bull.
And I get annoyed because media has done such a great job, and I won't get into it because we don't get political on the show, but they have done such a great job of sectioning off certain breeds of dogs, saying, oh, these dogs are vicious and terrible. Man, we were at Home Depot the other day, all right? And I'm not just going to stick my kid in front of any dog.
No.
Would not do that. Wouldn't be smart to. But we were at Home Depot, and there was this lady that had a pit bull. And he was a big old dude and stocky, wagging his tail, friendliest dog that you'd ever see.
A lot of it is how you raise your dog.
Yeah, and I went down and started petting him, and he was loving. And I said, do you mind if I pet your dog? And she said, absolutely not at all. He loves people. And then Braylon was all puppy. And we made sure with any dog. But Braylon was petting him, and this dog, I asked her, and she said he was 5 or 6 years old. So it's not like he was some nice little puppy. He was a grown adult male dog. But it was cool to see that because I think of a pit bull maybe the way some people think of a firearm. They get nervous around it because they're not educated.
That's a great story. I rescued a pit bull a number of years ago, and initially my wife was like, no. And I took the dog home, and she fell in love with it. And they had tried to make this dog a fighting dog. Literally, they had cut his ears off.
That's terrible, yeah.
I mean, completely just smooth with his head. They had poured acid, some sort of
my
acid down
goodness.
his back and stuff like that. So first thing we do, take him to the vet. We get, get him treated. They had to shave his back, and we had to put like burn cream and wound cream on there and got him all healed up. He turned out to be the best, most loyal dog you could want. The boys were little at the time. I could put the boys in the front yard. We lived on a cul-de-sac street down in Angleton, Texas. And I could put the dog in the front yard with him. He wasn't going to leave the yard, and he wasn't going to let them leave the yard either. And if somebody came in, he would, he literally would go in between them and the kid. He wasn't vicious, but he was just letting you know that if you want to mess with the kids, you had to come through him. Oh. So he was a neat dog, and then somebody got in the backyard and stole him.
Oh, my goodness. How old was he?
He was about 3 or 4 years old.
Man, that's tough.
Yeah, and his favorite thing to do was to eat flashlights. He hated flashlights. So for entertainment, go to Walmart, get the Ever-Ready 2-pack.
The cheap ones.
The cheap ones. Throw some batteries in there, turn it on, chunk it on the floor. Like 15 seconds, he'd have it in pieces, batteries out. You just, real careful, go get the batteries before you decide to eat those.
Somebody's like, what does your dog want? Here's a bone. No, just bring him a flashlight.
Yeah, so we knew and that was great if you think about it. If bad guy comes in the middle of the night, what are they going to have in their hand? A flashlight. You didn't have anything to worry about.
Oh, man.
He was going to take the flashlight.
Hey, here we are, Jason Thompson joining us, Guardian Defense. And look who's joining us now, chiming in, Jerica, saying good morning. So good
morning, Jerica.
Good morning. We were worried about you. We didn't see you yesterday on the show. So
real quick, man, we were down at the gun show, and one of my wife's really good friends, she does this, her business is making pins.
Oh, cool.
So, we had to give Rob a pin.
Well, man, I appreciate that.
So, she even laser engraved the pin case, but she made this just for you. So open it up, check it out, man.
Check this out. Hold on. We're going to do this live here, man.
Look at that.
Hold on. Where's that camera at? Right there. Jason, thank you, man.
Yeah.
Check this out.
Custom made pin. Rob for his podcast. And all he's done for me is a friend. So now when he's out doing all this paperwork and stuff, he can think about us.
Man, look at this.
Isn't that amazing?
Brother, thank
Pins
you, man.
by Mandy. That's who does that. She's a great person.
Check this out, man. I'm going to flip back over. Jason, this is so nice, man. You didn't have to do this, brother. Check this out.
No, I wanted to do it, though,
Got this really awesome, it's kind of hard to focus there, but this really awesome Hello Huntsville TX pen. Custom-made pen.
Custom-made pen. There's only one like it.
It's like some
I'm not
here?
sure, man. I'm really not sure what she used to make it out of. My wife went up and said, hey, I want you to do this and this.
Wow.
Got this buddy. And people know, Vicki McKenzie, she knows Mandy.
Is she here in this area?
No, she's actually down in Conroe.
Wow.
But that's her business. She makes custom pins, and it's always fun to hang out with Mandy.
Check this out. Hello Huntsville TX pen, custom made. Jason.
Yeah.
Jason, man, thank you so much for that,
dude,
brother.
You're welcome, man.
You're going to tear me up a little bit,
No,
man.
don't do that.
This
Come on
awesome,
now.
man.
Don't do that, man.
And check this out. A custom case right here, too, that we saw earlier.
she did all that while we waited on Saturday.
Wow.
She comes over Saturday, about the time the gun show was in, and, hey, I got your pin done.
Was she?
Cool.
Did she do these at the show?
Yeah, she does some of the work at the show, but she does some really amazing work. And I just plug it a little bit for her. She actually makes them with snake skins. She actually gets like these super rare snakes like black mambas and stuff like that. And of course they're dead, and she pays a lot of money and she skins it out and she can actually put that on a pin.
Wow.
Yes.
That is crazy.
That is crazy what she can do.
Man, and again, we talk about, hey, everyone has unique talents.
Everyone has unique talents. That's Mandy's talent is, she's artistic and creative, and she's got a few little machines that really help, laser engravers and stuff like that. But, hey, it's all about having a talent and just, figuring out what it is. That's the hardest part, though. You have to figure out what it is.
Yeah.
You got to figure out your gift. I mean, Colonel Sanders, he was 77 years old, 76 years old.
His gift was chicken, right?
His gift was he could fry chicken, but he failed in business countless times, and it was 77. He was in his 70s before he ever, figured out what it was that he was supposed to do. To some of us, it comes quicker than others.
Yeah, that's why their age is not a thing. You know, I was talking to someone once, and they were all rowdied up because they were a young person getting involved in an industry, and I'm the youngest to ever do this, and the youngest. And then there was another guy that was in his 50s that had just light years. He said, I never thought that I'd be in this position as a broadcaster in his 50s, and now is the voice of the Florida Gators. And, you know, was saying,
Really?
like, I never imagined it, you know, at 50 I'd get this opportunity. And so
Right.
age is just a number.
It is.
It
It's
doesn't
just a
matter where
number.
you're at in
No,
life.
it doesn't matter where you are.
There was someone the other day that I was reading about that had graduated college, 94 years old.
That's awesome.
How cool is that? I mean,
That is awesome.
You're 94, you know, let's be real. There's not much time left.
No.
But, you know, you do it because you want to do it. To have
Right.
that satisfaction to say, you know what, I'm 94, I got my college degree. Now, are you going to be able to use it? Probably not, but it's still great to have
But you
it.
still have it. I mean,
Yeah.
that person set a goal for themselves.
And they got it.
And they went out and achieved it, and congratulations to them for doing that.
I mean, that's amazing to think about that.
You know, I had a new customer come out and visit us last week. You know, he's a veteran, disabled veteran at that, and he said, man, I like it out here. I like this area. I just moved here, started going to college at Sam. He said, you know, I'm a disabled veteran, but I needed something to do, so I decided to move to Huntsville and go get a college education. I was like, cool, man, and he's probably in his 30s, so it's not too late.
What's the eldest? You know, you can't give away, you know, too many secrets, but what's
Right.
the eldest you've ever had come out to the range?
And shoot,
Yeah.
in their 80s.
Oh, that's awesome.
I've had several people that are above 80 that have come out and taken classes and you know, completed the courses. So that's really neat. There's no age limit on that either.
Have you ever seen there was a viral, this was pre-YouTube. Man, before YouTube, it was like E-Bombs World was the website.
I remember E-Bombs.
You remember that?
Yes, I do.
That was like where all the funny videos were. And
Right.
then I think it turned into something, you know, terrible. But it was like a place pre-YouTube was E-Bombs World. And there was this video of this lady that was in her 90s shooting like an AR-15 at a target. And you got to see it. It's hilarious. Have you ever seen this video? It's like
I
the son-
may have, but it's probably been a minute.
and the guy was like, "Mom, what are you doing?" And she's laughing, and she's shooting this lady in a wheelchair. She goes, "I'm shooting him in his noodles." It's hilarious, man. You got to watch this.
Oh, man, we've got to go find that. I got to go find that today.
Oh, it's been a great show here today. Again, Jason sitting in with us. When we come back, we're going to learn a little bit about bees. Can we talk bees
Yeah, let's
when we
talk
come
bees
back?
for a few minutes.
So-
I don't know a whole lot about bees. I'm still learning, but
There may be
Yeah.
some folks out there that are interested, though, and they
Yeah,
said, you know
that's
what?
it.
This if a guy that can teach LTC courses and firearm safety can get into bees, you know what?
Yeah.
I can get into bees.
yeah, that's it. Bees are cool, man.
So we'll step aside. We'll take one final break. Final opportunity, by the way, to enter to win those 4 tickets to Vintage Market Days coming up this weekend. All you got to do is put a hashtag Good Morning Huntsville, hashtag Visit Huntsville, and anything like that, like the broadcast and share it. You will automatically be entered. For now, though, we'll step aside. We'll take 1 minute break, and we'll talk bees and wrap it up when we come
There we
back
go.
here on Good Morning Huntsville. Stay with us. Hey, good morning, Huntsville. Welcome back in on a Tuesday, episode 36 of Good Morning Huntsville, where we highlight all the good that's happening in our community. We are broadcasting live downtown, the beautiful square here, and The good Lord has graced us with a
Yeah,
little
it's
Bob
starting
Ross.
to pick up a little bit this morning.
Bob Ross painting out there today with those clouds as we look
Yeah.
out the window to the right. We are broadcasting again in our studio downtown that is sponsored by our good friend Elliot Herzlich of Elliot's Jewelers. I believe Elliot is back from his vacation, so we're going to have him on here within the next week or so to tell us how things are going and what he's been up to. I think he was out there in that Diamond Buyers group, and we got to figure out how to get into that group. You know, he was overseas, and
Oh, really?
yeah. Is there like a gun buyers group, by the way?
There are a lot of gun buyer
I
groups.
figured as
but
much, yeah.
You have to have a little bit of that green stuff to get in there.
You ever seen any like custom guns that have diamonds embedded in them and stuff?
No, but there are people that do that. They really dress up guns in gold and nickel plating and fancy grips with gold inlays and stuff like that. They can really do some amazing work, on customizing a gun.
Well, Guardian Defense LLC is here. Jason Thompson, he is our Tuesday Foundation 5 sponsor. Hey, if you're concerned about firearm safety, I think everybody needs to be concerned about it. You want to learn more, you're nervous. You think about, man, I'm nervous about being around a firearm, or I just want to protect my family. Give Guardian Defense a
We'd
look
love
up
to help
online.
you guys. We really would.
Jason's got his number there. He shares it with us every morning at 936-293-0364. Again, that is GuardianDefenseLLC.com.
Yeah, and don't forget, we do have a range out there. If you just need a place to practice, come see us.
And those Spanish-speaking courses are coming up soon, too.
Yeah,
which is
end of the
gonna be
month,
great.
June 24th.
So getting that loaded
And if
up.
we fill one up, we'll have one on June the 25th, too.
And you do have 4 more seats for the English-speaking class this weekend,
Right,
On
yes.
Saturday?
Saturday, Sunday combo. Saturday's NRA basic pistol course. Sunday, Texas LTC.
So, folks, how much is that course, by the way?
Individually, that would be about $175. If they buy both, it's I knocked it down to $150. But you can take either or. You don't have to take both. So if you just want one or the other, we still have a few seats available.
Do you bring a sack lunch if you're coming?
Yeah, you can. If it's a large class, we generally have breakfast. I have snacks out. I have drinks.
No mimosas, though. By the way,
No
You don't-
mimosas.
That
in the
doesn't
morning.
mix well.
No black coffee, guys. If you need cream or sugar, we have that too. But guns and alcohol don't mix, so we don't have mimosas. Not till we're done.
And one thing too, Jason, how long are these classes? Like, what can someone expect if they come out on a Saturday and a Sunday?
Right. The Saturday class generally, is about an 8-hour course. A lot of it's in the classroom, which is climate control. We spend a couple hours shooting on the NRA basic course, getting your skills down. The course on Sunday, which is Texas LTC, lasts about 6 hours usually. It just depends on the class size. If it's a large class where you have about 14 people, well, my range isn't quite big enough to shoot let all 14 people qualify at one time. So we do it in groups of, about 4 or 5, and then we go in and finish up the classroom.
How much property are you guys on out there? I mean, it's
We have about 87 acres, give or take.
That's awesome.
So it's nice. We're out in the middle of the woods. You go past the banjos. That's what I tell all my customers. When you hear the banjos, just keep going. We're here. Don't worry.
Great. Well, again, Jason Thompson with us. I got to ask, and I promised folks we're going to talk about bees. So how did we get a guy that's involved in what you do to getting involved in bees? I need to hear about this.
I kind of got interested. Some of you may or may not know, I used to drive a truck commercially, and one of the back hauls, my main haul was up into the Dakotas, North Dakota. And
you betcha.
Yeah, you betcha. And green peas in the gravy and stuff like that, It didn't take me long to learn not to order anything with gravy when you get north of Nebraska. So with that being said, I hauled a load of honey, a few times out of the Dakotas back down to Texas. And I said, man, that sounds like fun. And years have gone by, and this year I just said, you know what, I'm going to learn how to keep bees. So I joined the Walker County Beekeepers Association, at their first meeting of the year, ordered some bees, went and rescued a hive, just like a block from here. That was actually my first experience with getting bees, and then I picked up some bees that I ordered, and, I've learned a lot. Guys, bees are cool. They're so efficient in what they do. And the beekeepers that I know and I've got to speak with said bees have 2 jobs. They make honey and they reproduce. That's their main 2 jobs. They make more bees.
So where are these bees, or do you have them out on your property?
Yeah, we made a we went back in an area that and put a little fence up, and then we've got about 6 beehives right now.
And how many bees are typically in a hive?
More than I'm going to count. There's generally a lot of bees. We split some of the hives down to create new ones, and they're in an area that's they have water that's close. They have resources, and then in the spring we do feed them with some sugar water and stuff like that to help promote, especially when we're splitting the hives up and stuff. And I'm still learning.
Is it an expensive hobby or not too bad?
It can get expensive really quick, guys. Depending on your skill set, if you don't know how to build your own boxes and stuff like that, I've invested a little bit of money.
Have you gotten any honey out of them yet?
No, and I don't plan to collect honey. They say in this area you generally are doing your honey harvest in July and August, and I'm trying to get my hives up and ready for the winter and get them strong and full of bees this year, and then hopefully next year we'll have them to where they're ready to produce honey.
Oh, that's cool. And do they just? How does the honey work? I mean, is it just? I don't know anything about bees.
The thing about honey is a food that it never rots. It never goes bad as long as you don't pasteurize it.
Huh.
Raw honey, and they say there's a lot of health benefits, include like your allergies and stuff. I know you have some allergy issues in the spring. If you eat local honey, there's pollen. They use pollen to make that honey from the local area, and it helps your body build up a resistance to that, to the histamine reaction that causes the runny nose or the stuffy nose and the tickle in the throat. So.
Love it, man. All right. Well, Jason Thompson, Guardian Defense LLC, also Guardian Defense Movers, Guardian Defense Beekeepers.
Yeah, I mean, we're just a jack of all trades, guys.
So
master of none.
Man, well, it's been cool. Just I've known you for a long time, Jason, and you're a very close friend, one of my best friends here in this area, and I love hearing your story just about not only your business, with Guardian Defense, but then just how you get into beekeeping. I think that's amazing, man.
Yeah, I decided I wanted to do it and figured out a way to pay for it.
Does Deneen and Ricky, do they get involved?
Deneen is allergic to bees, so she does help make sugar water and stuff like that. What we feed the bees and stuff like that. But she doesn't go up and tend the bees. Now Rick, he'll suit up and go up there with us.
Do you have the suit?
Oh yeah, I've got the little jacket, with the headpiece on.
Oh yes.
And it's cool to go up there and actually watch the bees work. And to see them come in, and they've got these little orange balls on their back legs.
That's the pollen, right?
That's pollen,
yeah.
So, it's really cool to see how efficiently they work. And, we try to get in the hives about once a week and make sure that, we don't have a lot of mite issues and stuff like that. There's really a lot to learn. When it comes to beekeeping, there's things we have to do, and there's stuff that I'm still learning to do.
Yeah. I'm just sitting here thinking while you're talking, could you please come in one episode on the show in the bee suit?
Yeah.
Or maybe just at least the top.
No, it's all connected.
Oh, okay.
So you put the jacket on, and then the bonnet comes over, and you zip it up and put the Velcro down, because you really don't. A bee sting is like a fire ant sting, but on the face is pretty bad. So you want to really protect your face.
I've seen some people. There's a lady out there on YouTube, man, and she's like not even wearing anything. Is that just?
Yeah, I don't know about that. She hasn't messed with bees that I'm associated with yet. But a lot of my bees are pretty calm. I mean, I can, about half the time I'll wear gloves when I'm working with them. Half the time I don't. But a lot of times you can just put some smoke on your hands with the smoker, and that way you have a little more dexterity when you're trying to work with the bees.
Yeah, what does the smoke do? Does that just scare them off? Or?
No, it calms them. It can calm them down. And, fortunately we live in East Texas, and the best fuel for it is pine needles. So you just stuff pine needles in there and get it smoking, and it just helps calm them down and stuff like that. Keep them down in the box if you're working from the top.
Who in the world figured out? I always think about things like popcorn. Who figured out how you could pop popcorn? And then I started thinking, who in the world figured out that you could to smoke bees?
I don't know who figured it out. I mean,
was it like
who figured out that you could eat raw oysters?
Well, I mean, was it like a beekeeper that had a pipe back in the day and he was smoking? He's like, oh, when I smoke my pipe, the bees are calm,
There's
you know?
probably something along those lines, maybe, smoked a pipe or rolled a cigarette and had it hanging from his lip, back in the day, that was a thing to do. Nobody knew it was bad for your health to smoke.
Well, if those bees like that smoke in Colorado, they're probably eating little loony bees there, man.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. They could be.
CBD bee.
But yeah, and they use bees to pollinate and stuff like that. But guys, be honest. If we don't have bees, the human race isn't going to be around because they do a very important side job, and that's pollinate crops.
Yeah, that's right. So it's good stuff. Jason, thanks for educating us on this, man. We're going to have to learn more about it, and just been a really fun show this morning.
Maybe we can get someone from the Beekeeper Association one day.
That would be great. Maybe plan on that. Maybe we can see we got somebody next week.
I'll make some calls, see if we can find somebody that come in and talk about it, because that's a great group over there.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we'll see about that. Want to welcome everybody in. Chris Brown is joining us. Good morning to you. Bridget Brennan, love you, sweetheart. She's joining. Colby, Arthur Holt joining us. Belinda.
Colby.
Yeah, Colby's in. Colby, look, what's up, Colby? Also, Miss Belinda Hernandez joining us. Good morning to you, Belinda. So many other folks are joining, and a lot of you have entered in to win. And here in just a few seconds, we will have that drawing, by the way, for the 4 tickets to Vintage Market Days happening this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And once we select that winner, just reach out to us, and we will make sure to coordinate to get you those tickets as well. Jason, been a fun one here this morning.
Yes, it's been awesome, man.
I came in, we kind of had a little bit of an agenda of what we were going to talk about, but
then
I always like how
nowhere
it goes.
close to it for the most
I
part.
always like how it goes, though.
Yeah, I do too.
It's a little natural flow of things.
Yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed our show this morning.
Yeah, we'll be back at it tomorrow, as of course we're back live every single day this week. And tomorrow, Wednesday, our good friends from Tomorrow's Promise will be on. And we'll also have someone from Forest Glen Camps talking now.
Cool.
Summer is here, and so we're highlighting all the good things that are happening. And
I've heard
more
a
to
lot
come
of
this
good things about Forest Glen Camps.
So we'll talk about that tomorrow. We'll learn a little bit more. Before we do go, though, got a couple of things to roll through here. And our winner today is Miss Tammy Trotter. So congratulations, Tammy. She is the winner today. Tammy,
awesome.
Send us a message, and we will coordinate with you on those tickets for Huntsville coming up here for, I keep saying Huntsville Vintage Days, for Vintage Market Days. Tammy, you are the winner. So
awesome. She gets to go all 3 days, doesn't she?
She does. And we got tickets the rest of the week. We still got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So all you got to do is chime in. Lisa, chime in again tomorrow. Stephanie, chime in again tomorrow. That's where I was going with this earlier when I mentioned radio. Mm-hmm. So radio has these rules, which is why I love not doing radio, because we don't have rules. We can do whatever.
We can do what we want.
So there's kind of this rule that, you can't win a prize within 30 days if you've already won or whatever, or you can't win if you're a family member.
Right. Even if they're like in the back portion, they're not like the DJ or the show host. Yeah, you can't win.
You know what though? I threw all that out, and there's no bias here. I'm not going to hook Jason up with tickets just because he's here. But there's no bias here. I'm not. But here's the deal. Stephanie won something here recently. Mm-hmm. She can win again.
Right.
Enter to win. We don't care. We just want to give things away, and we want to show our support.
We want to give it away. Support this local event. I think it's great because all these events, what do? They help the city.
They do.
They help our community. They bring in those tax dollars.
You think of 100 vendors that are going to be at this event.
Yeah, from the north side. They're probably, depending on where they live, they're going to be eating in town. They're going to be staying in hotel rooms. And all that does is grows our local economy.
So, you know what? Give it away, give it away, give it away now. That's what we do here.
Yeah, give it away.
Give it away now.
There we go.
So thanks for tuning in this morning. Been a lot of fun. Before we go, though, it is National Day of Something today. And it is a National Creativity Day. So, this pen a while ago that Jason blessed me with.
That couldn't have been any better.
There you go. There's your Creativity Day item right there. The Hello Huntsville TX pen that
now you can feel important,
I did. Whenever I was writing with that thing, it was like silk, man.
It is. She does such a great job.
It's also National Mint Julep Day. Do you know about this, Jason? Mint?
No, sir. I know it's an adult beverage. It's probably nothing that's going to, be something I would drink.
Yeah, it would not end up in my glass. But it says a classic mint julep made with a mint leaf, bourbon, sugar, and water. In the southern states, where mint julep is more associated with cuisine, spearmint is the mint of choice. Preparation of the drink may vary from one bartender to another. It's funny whenever it says bourbon. I thought of this old rap song back in the day that made no sense. And it was, this is for the bourbons and the Cadillacs.
I don't remember
This
that
is
one.
for the bourbons and the Cadillacs. Come on, Jason, man.
I don't remember that. I wasn't big in the rap scene.
I thought you were like Notorious B.I.G's cousin, man.
Yo, come on now.
This is Jason B.I.G. What up from
Yeah.
H-Town, baby? Hey, a very serious day today, and we had a good friend of ours on here last month, but it is World Multiple Sclerosis Day today.
MS is not a fun disease.
It is not, and this day helping to bring awareness to that. It happens every year on May the 30th. As one of the most common diseases in the central nervous system, MS impacts more than 2.3 million people around the world. That according to the Multiple Sclerosis International Federation. The term sclerosis means many scars, and this term relates to areas that appear on the brain and the spinal cord after the myelin covering our nerves is damaged or dies. That damaged myelin leaves a lesion behind, and these lesions are identified by an MRI when symptoms begin to appear. So
Lost a couple family members to MS.
Yeah, MS, a tough one. And today, bringing awareness to MS. It is also, hey, here you go, Jason, National Water a Flower Day today.
Yeah, there we go.
So get out there and water a flower.
Yes.
That means I got to bring a lot of water back to Bridget today because she's a flower.
You do?
That was super corny, Bridget.
That was.
Don't ever say that again on this show. She's already telling me. Hey, but it's a time of the year. Our flower gardens should be in full bloom. Keeping them hydrated sometimes seems like a full-time job. It's often a therapeutic business, caring for a living thing. The more they're nurtured, the nurtured,
Nurtured,
the
better they grow.
the more they thrive. And I'm not good at the green thumb. Also today is, hey, what is this one here? I'm going to click on this before I read it because sometimes these are kind of sketch here. Okay. It's the National Hole in My Bucket Day, the wacky holiday in honor of the fun children's song, There's a Hole in My Bucket. I've never even heard of this song.
I haven't heard of that song either.
A song that began in 1700 in Germany is about a back and forth conversation between Henry and Lisa. Henry needs to fix his leaky bucket. In each stanza, Henry asks Lisa for advice. In the end, he needs a bucket to carry water to repair his bucket. Mm-hmm. I guess it's one of those repeat. Like Pete and Repeat were sitting on a fence. Pete fell off. Who was left?
Repeat.
Pete and Repeat. You know, you can go on forever with that one. So anyways, there you go. There's your
What else is there? There's one more, isn't there?
One more today, and it is Loomis Day. Loomis Day. Huh. Each year, Loomis Day recognizes the man who received the patent for the wireless telegraph in 1872. Malin Loomis received a patent titled An Improvement in Telegraphing. So check that out.
Wireless telegraph.
In 1872, Loomis Day.
Interesting.
Huh, so there you go. Loomis, also the inventor of artificial teeth and one of the earliest inventors of wireless communications. Can you believe that? Mm-hmm. Did not think about that. So
Yeah, learned something new today.
there you go. The teeth
Awesome.
guy and the wireless guy. Today we honor him on National Loomis Day.
There we go.
Hey, friends, thanks for being a part of this one. Again, please give our good friend Jason Thompson a call for all of your firearms training, education, safety, and more. He'll take good care of you. 936-293-0364. Also, those Spanish-speaking classes coming at the end of this month.
If you know someone that's interested, give us a shout. Give them our number.
Find out more information there online with our good buddy Jason Thompson, Guardian Defense, LLC.com. That'll wrap it up. We'll end it today, as I end every show, reminding you today that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other. Provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. Somebody out there needs you. Good morning, Huntsville, and God bless. We'll see you back at it tomorrow. Have a great